Hi everyone, thanks for joining. It's Coach Boots here, and today I'm sharing my tips for how to stay healthy while you're traveling, while you're on the road, or if you're not someone who travels frequently, if you are constantly on the go. Perhaps you work and play sports or have children that go to school and then have after school commitments. So with all this craziness, how do you stay healthy when you're constantly on the go? I travel for my job Monday through Friday, so this is something that I have to think quite a bit about. Now, my first number one tip for staying healthy on the go is to get enough sleep. It's really hard to get those workouts in, really hard to stay on track with your clean eating when you are not getting enough sleep. So you need to do that to take care of yourself. I find I am actually someone who struggles to fall asleep, so I try and stick to a schedule. As cheesy as it sounds, I try to have a set bedtime and a set time in the morning, usually around 5 a.m. when I wake up to get that workout in. My second tip is maximize your time so you can get a quick workout in pretty much anywhere. For example, every week when I travel, I have to show up at the airport 2 hours before my flight. So I spend that time walking. I pace from one end of the terminal to the other. People look at me, TSA, perhaps they think I'm crazy, but I'm not technically doing anything wrong. And if they want to ask me any questions, I can easily explain what I'm doing. But this morning I have my Garmin. It's like a Fitbit, but just different brand. So my goal today was 11,300 steps approximately. I completed 9,000 of those just walking from one end of the terminal to the other while waiting for my flight. And again, this is something you can do too. If you have children who play sports, if you are at a field after work, you don't need to necessarily sit in the bleachers. You can walk up and down while you cheer on your children and while you support them. I also sometimes when I'm watching TV, I'll just walk around my living room and get a whole bunch of steps in that way. So it can be easy to stay fit when you're pressed for time if you focus on getting in light exercise whenever you can. My next tip is prepare in advance, and don't be afraid to pack the things that keep you healthy. You may have seen a video in which I said I usually bring my my NutriBullet on my trips with me to make my Shakeology every day. I didn't do that on this trip because it's a 2-week trip and I was determined to get everything into my single small suitcase, and the NutriBullet just took up too much room. But I did prioritize bringing the things that I need to stay healthy and get in my 21-day Fix Extreme workouts, including I have been known to bring a set of dumbbells whenever I travel. You risk coming off as a schmuck if you have men carry your suitcase and they ask what's in this and you say, well, a pair of dumbbells. But you can easily explain that it's not because you wanted them to carry your suitcase and you wanted to be a jerk. It's because it's important to you to stay fit. I also have a really nice Target, purchase at Target. It's a Gaiam travel yoga mat. So this folds up really nicely and I bring it anywhere I go so that I can get in my workouts in the morning or in the evening when I need to do stretching and weightlifting. I have my mat with me ready to go. I recently discovered the wonderfulness of traveling with resistance bands. So after all of those years of carrying my hand weights and having my male colleagues tease me about that, I read last week actually that resistance bands have been proven to be just effective. If you get a really nice resistance band, again, this is purchased from Target, my all-time favorite store, costs about $20, and this is a 20-pound resistance band. So I'm using it to do my 21-day Fix Extreme workouts, and I'm trying it out. That's why I have the weights with me as well, but I think eventually I'm going to try moving just to the resistance band. Some of my other things I bring with me, you can see behind me here. So I bring my cute little portable lunch bag. I pack my lunch in this every day and I bring it to the hospital with me. And again, I want to emphasize that this tip applies for people who travel. If you are eating out, if you were eating fast food and restaurant dinners constantly, that's going to be hard to eat clean all the time. You might have a lot better luck if you put in the effort to cook for yourself and to pack your own lunch. Now, I am very fortunate. You may be able to tell that I am in a full suite right now. So another tip would be to look for hotels that give you a space where you have enough room to work out, where you have a full kitchen to prepare your own healthy meals. I found that in most of the US, actually hotel prices, I like Homewood Suites, I also like Town Place Suites by Marriott. Those sorts of hotel suites often have lower prices. And for me, sometimes what I'll do, I might have to drive an extra half hour to work, but again, to me, that's worth it. To have a kitchen, to have room where I can get in my workouts and where I can stay on track. And as I was saying, they sometimes have lower prices actually because people are staying there for longer times. A lot of people actually live in these hotels, so they're not going to pay much more than $100 to $150 per night to stay there long term. So the rates do tend to be affordable. They do not always cost more than your traditional single hotel room without the full suite in my experience. So definitely look into that. But even if that's not an option for you, again, I'm lucky to have a full fridge. In a minute, we're going to take a look at what is in my fridge. But I find that most hotel rooms these days have at least a small fridge. I find that actually both in the US and in Europe. So take advantage of that. Pack healthy foods into your refrigerator and bring them to work with you. I also have my 21-day fix containers with me. These are a lifesaver. I am actually new to these. I have struggled with food and weight my whole life. I'm quite honest and upfront about that. And for me, portion control has just been a constant struggle. So I love the 21-day fixed eating plan. I find that I get like 4 servings of protein a day. I actually don't count vegetables, so I eat unlimited vegetables, and I find it's just plenty of food for me. And whereas before I was going to different events, again, this would apply whether you're on the road or whether you're at home and going out to eat with friends. I go to lots of different events and I struggled to keep track of appropriate portions. But now I'm eating plenty of food. I'm not someone who can sit and count calories. I've done Weight Watchers and I have failed miserably at Weight Watchers. Just having these containers that I can decide what I want to eat the night before, measure that out, plan, and put them in my bag to go just makes my life so much easier. I have a larger container too, so I like to make salads or dinner, put them in this, and bring that in my lunch bag. Again, all of this goes in my suitcase when I travel. I pack, so I'm on a 2-week trip right now. I have 2 weeks worth of Shakeology packets. These I like to really keep in my bag as well. Sometimes when I'm working long hours, or even if I decide to go out after work and I'm really hungry and I'm at a bar, for example, I might not find very many healthy options on the menu. So I can always just grab a glass of water, mix in my shake, and that will fill me up at least until I get home and have the ability to cook my own healthy meal. I have my blender bottle as well, so I bring this along and I drink my Shakeology from this. So as you can see, most of what I'm talking to ties back to that idea of pre-planning, packing what you need to bring with you, and leveraging your time. Now, I also wanted to show you some of the healthy foods that I like to get on my trip. So I try to shop at grocery stores whenever possible. So again, if I have a refrigerator, have a full kitchen, I will go as soon as I land, or actually I have to work the rest of the day when I land. But at the end of that day, I will go and I would stock up on healthy foods for the rest of the week. Usually I do light workout walking up and down the airport terminals on the day I travel. So I spend the rest of that night cooking. Usually I'll cook a batch of chicken, some vegetables to go with it, put those in my Tupperware containers, keep them in the fridge, and then make a lunch every night. as you will. However, this week I actually wanted to buy only meals that do not require cooking because I wanted to prove the point that you can eat successfully shopping at the grocery store even if you don't have the luxury of a full suite kitchen. I know when I was shopping in the UK, I think some of my friends in this group, when I also traveled to the UK or to Europe quite frequently, they have lots of little individually packaged salads. I really like Marks and Spencer. Tesco has the same thing, again, packaged salads. They also, if you've ever checked out their chicken section, they have all sorts of like small packets of different seasoned chickens. So there's barbecue, chicken tikka, etc. So one of my tricks used to be to just grab a small to-go salad, small batch of that chicken, mix it together. Maybe sometimes I would want to change things up, so I would have the garden salad and I would mix in, they have a nice bean salad. So really explore your options there and get creative. Now let's dive into some of my favorite things to eat when I am traveling. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see into my fridge, but we'll do the best we can. Okay. So my grocery haul, if you will. Okay. So let's just have a quick look. Apologies about the motion. But these are the things, this is how I have stocked my fridge this week, if you can see that. So let's go through and talk about each of those foods, why I like it, and what I'll do with it this week. I really like to start my day off well. So for me, a good breakfast is, I have a breakfast and a morning snack, and I mix the two up. And usually one is Shakeology, and the other is eggs. And when I was traveling in Chicago several years ago, I found that eggs and Brussels sprouts were all the rage. So I love my Brussels sprouts. I know not everyone does, but they're a really good combination. So each day for breakfast, I'll have 2 hard-boiled eggs. These are the pre-made, ready-to-go eggs. You would probably, if you're able, you have time to do that in the morning. So I just take my 2 pre-made hard-boiled eggs, microwave a veggie container from 21 Day Fix full of Brussels sprouts, take that to work with me. I also bring my Shakeology, and so I'll eat either the Brussels sprouts and eggs or the Shakeology around 8 a.m. and the other one around 11. So I wanted to highlight that at the grocery store you can find all sorts of pre-made delicious salads. Sometimes you can supplement them if they're not exactly what you're looking for. Again, grab some chicken or turkey or whatever and just throw it right on top. One of my other tricks is to go, a lot of supermarkets these days have fresh made sushi. So this is a healthy treat for me tomorrow. I'm going to have my brown rice, avocado, and veggie sushi rolls with my vegetarian spring rolls. So plenty of vegetables in this lunch tomorrow. I'm really excited to eat it. Like I said, it'll be quite a treat for me. What I am more accustomed to doing is preparing a salad. So I did also buy my salad ingredients this week. And what I have is Power Greens. I just pick up a package of Power Greens. This week I have broccoli slaw as well. Usually I'll get an avocado, but I couldn't find one that would be ripe enough to eat in the next few days, so I skipped that this week. In my salad, I'm going to put in some mushrooms, and then I bought a nice pack of Applegate Naturals turkey breast. So I'm going to have 1 serving of this turkey each day. Again, oftentimes I'll cook chicken and use that instead of the turkey, but I wanted to prove the point that you can survive the week with healthy options, give you guys some ideas that don't always require cooking. And I do not like salad dressing, but if you do, there are some wonderful options in the Fix 8 cookbook and with the 21 Day Fix meal plan. I take that back. What I really do like is Tessie Mae's ginger and soy dressing, I think it is. It's amazing. It's in the natural food section. Check it out. I use it as a marinade. I put just a little bit on my salads. But when I'm not having a dressing, avocado or beans are enough for me. They give kind of a creamy feel. So this week I have hummus. I'm gonna mix turkey and hummus go well together. So I like these individual serve hummus packs because it's a 2-week trip for me and I'll be in Colorado at the weekend. I'll be able to have some of these this week and then save the rest for next week. For snacks this week, I have Greek yogurt. You probably know Greek yogurt is super high in protein. I try to get the plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. I highly recommend plain. The fruit ones tend to be quite high in sugar, but what I do to liven up the taste and give it its own sweetness is I mix in my own fruit. So this week I have blackberries. Sometimes I'll do blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, whatever. So what I think I'll do, like I said, Brussels sprouts and eggs for breakfast, Shakeology for a morning snack or vice versa. Sushi for lunch tomorrow. I'll probably do that salad with the turkey breast for dinner tomorrow. And then I'll have the same salad for lunch on Wednesday. I'm only buying meals right now through Wednesday because I'm flying to Colorado on Thursday morning. I also want to tell you a treat for a tip that has absolutely saved my life. This is my favorite. I love ice cream. I know I'm not alone in that. When I used to travel, I think sometimes I've been guilty of having an ice cream a day, perhaps a frozen yogurt. But all that sugar is not good for you, especially if you're trying to eat clean. That's a goal, which probably is if you're in this group. So my new jam is, it's not so new, but my new jam is frozen fruits. So I will buy, cherries are my favorite, so I have cherries this week, but I will buy frozen cherries, blackberries, mangoes, strawberries, measure them out into a mug, or since I'm on the 21-day fix plan right now, my purple is fruit, I believe, my purple container for the 21-day fix, and I will eat that for dessert. I find that I struggle to stay on track with clean eating when I don't feel satisfied, when I feel deprived, if you will. So it's really important to me to get that sweet pleasure in every day, if you will. So I do that with my frozen fruit. My Greek yogurt and my fruit helps with that too, as does my Shakeology. A couple of other quick tips. So in these suites, I'm at Homewood Suites by Hilton right now. They offer free dinner. Actually, they have a buffet every night. It's quite convenient. This is pretty obvious, but it's just because it's there and it's free doesn't necessarily mean you should eat it, or perhaps you should pick and choose. So I do actually eat their dinner on Monday nights. That's what I had tonight. I had a little garden salad with some cheese and some soup and a cup of fruit for dessert. So that was quite healthy. But there's one night that's nacho night. Another night I think is hot dog and hamburger night. I'm not saying you can't eat those things, but just be careful. If you're eating those sorts of things night after night after night, you are not eating very clean. I think I had one more tip. What was it? Oh, yes. So my other tip was with out. This is a challenge for me, especially it was even more so when I was living in Europe, because there's so much of a drinking culture in many professional workplaces, depending on where you are geographically, depending on what your goal is. So as a consultant, I have lots of pressure to go out and drink night after night after night, to go out with people for dinner and eat not so cleanly, not as cleanly as I would like, night after night after night. So it took me forever to gather the confidence to just say no. Yes, I did dare as a child, but still I struggled with this. So first of all, don't feel that. Like if you don't wanna drink, you only wanna have one drink, learn how to do that. I really don't drink too much these days, but I understand other people do, and that's certainly fine. My other suggestion is have a healthy snack before you go out, something that will fill you up. If you're not starving, you will find it a lot easier to select something that's healthy from the menu, or if there is not a healthy option, to to just eat a moderate portion of whatever it is that you order. So again, Shakeology will do the trick, as will fruit. Apples in particular are high in fiber. Some carrots and hummus or some sort of healthy snack before you go out. Almonds as well. Yes, and then on the same lines of going out after work and facing that sort of pressure, oftentimes what I'll do if I haven't, I try and get up every morning to get in my workout, but sometimes I do fail at that. And if I want to go out after work and I'm feeling pressure to go out, you will instantly increase your coolness. If you tell people that you aren't going to go out with them because you need to go get your workout in, but you are going to meet them later, and here's the key, you actually show up. So this has nothing to do with working out. They'll think you're really lame for working out, but the effect will be that because they thought you were so lame because you bailed out on the fun to go and do the workout, then when you actually show up later and socialize, and maybe they're a couple of beers in, so they don't even notice that you've already had a healthy dinner and that you are having one drink or having sparkling water or something non-alcoholic. They will think you are so cool. So give that a try. That's all for right now. Again, this is just a video totally unplanned, going over some of my suggestions for healthy eating when you're on the go, when you're on the road. I think one of the most important is get your sleep. One of the second most important is get in your workout. Third most important, pack healthy foods and bring them with you. Always be prepared. But there are plenty of other wonderful tips out there. The internet is ripe with them. I would love for you guys to actually comment on some additional tips that you have that aren't in this video, because I have others as well, but those are just the ones I want to share tonight. All right, have a wonderful day.